Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host, Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today is a Once More with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And today's episode, we are doing Season 2, Episode 20, Go Fish! This episode first aired May 5th, 1998, written by Alan Hampton and David Fury, directed by David Semel.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan of the show, but Jared has never watched the whole series, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how did you go with this episode? You didn't like the last one. So.
The merman, huh? We always get the merman.
Yes.
We never get the merman.
Yes. So, yeah, this one is going back to our classical universal monsters. So we get the creature from the Black Lagoon, not the Blue Lagoon.
Not the Blue Lagoon. That was Brooke Shields.
Yep. You know what? This episode is normally it is universally panned.
I think I know. I'm going to take a guess why. It's gone back to the PSA things,
yes,
hasn't it?
Exactly.
Steroids bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Steroids bad.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
If you're doing sports, it's unfair.
Yeah.
Drugs bad. Yes.
And no extra charge.
But honestly, I don't mind this episode. It's not as bad as this. There's some that are
There's worse.
Yeah, there's a lot worse than this. But yeah, as you said, it's pretty much because it's a PSA episode that everyone hates it.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of misogyny, slut shaming, lots of rape jokes as well. So yeah, some of those jokes just would not fly.
No, yeah. What I know we'll go into it later, but yeah, some of that stuff that happens in there is definitely very taboo now, I think.
Yeah. Jared, did you want to do the synopsis? Sorry, the summary. I keep saying that.
Oh well, I'm not going to do it now because you said it wrong. We're going to skip it.
Okay.
No?
Let's just skip it.
Skip it. All right. This episode begins at the beach. The Sunnydale swim team is celebrating their latest victory, while Xander complains about having such a big celebration for just the swim team. Buffy sulks on a rock when Cameron, another member of the swim team, approaches. Buffy tries to scare him off, but he says he's looking to talk. Jonathan is angry with Buffy for saving him from the bullies and tells her to leave him alone. The bullies, Dodd and Gage, walk off and talk about how weird and scary Buffy is. Dodd suddenly stops while Gage keeps walking. He walks by without seeing Dodd's body, seemingly skinned apart. A mysterious creature walks into the sewer. The next day, Willow is teaching class when Principal Schneider tells Willow that they are still unable to find a replacement for Ms. Calendar, so she'll have to continue substituting for the time being. Slave labour, I think. Buffy arrives at school in a car with Cameron, a member of the school swim team. He makes persistent sexual advances that are unwelcome, so Buffy slams his head against the steering wheel. Giles informs Buffy that the remains of another member of the team, Dodd, were found on the beach after the party. Later, Xander hears screams and on investigating finds a ransacked cafeteria and Cameron's skin and a humanoid sea creature. In the library, Cordelia tries to sketch the creature that Xander saw. Buffy and Willow return, having been informed that Cameron and Dodd were the two best swimmers in the boys' team. After them was Gage. Having little else to go on, Buffy shadows Gage as the potential next target. At the Bronze that night, Gage confronts Buffy about her following him. She tells him that he may be in danger. He does not believe her and leaves, only to be attacked by Angelus in the parking lot. Buffy fights the vampire, noting as she does that Angelus was spitting up Gage's blood rather than drinking it. The following day, Buffy, Willow and Cordelia sit on the swim practice discussing Angelus's behaviour. They speculate that the swim team may be taking steroids which act as a repellent to vampires, but an attraction to sea creatures. Xander joins the swim team in an effort to get the information from places the girls would not have access to. Buffy hears Gage cry out in pain. She finds him transforming into one of the creatures and the others in a locker room with him. Buffy and Giles tell Coach Marin that members of his team are not being killed by sea creatures, but are transforming into them. Meanwhile, Xander tries to find out what drug his team members are taking and how to get it. He finds out that what the boys are assuming are steroids being pumped into the sauna steam, and that Xander is inhaling as they speak. It is revealed that Nurse Greenlee is a co-conspirator with Marin. They have been conducting experiments on the swim team with fish DNA in order to get a winning team. Nurse Greenlee tries to put an end to the situation, but Marin forces her into open grate and drops her into the sewers. The creatures attack and kill her. Buffy confronts Marin, but he forces her at gunpoint into the sewer. She is fighting the sea creatures when Xander knocks out Marin and rescues her. Marin revives and attacks them, but is knocked into the sewer and killed by the creatures. Xander and the remaining human swimmers are given treatments to undo the effects of the inhaled mutagen, while the fully transformed creatures head off into the open ocean, never to be seen again. The end.
Yay!
All right, Eddie, what do you got?
Okay, so we now have a beach in Sunnydale.
Oh, a beach, yes. Add that to the landmarks. Yep.
To our landmark list.
Yeah.
Also, I had a question about, did your school have a swimming pool?
No.
Is this an American thing? Like,
yeah. The private schools, I'm just trying to think, not many. No. I mean, were they at this? Were they at the? Is it? Oh yeah, no, they're at the school, weren't they? Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, we had swimming, but it was at the local swimming pool.
Yeah.
But that's, never at a school.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Have I seen a school with a pool before? And I can't think. I've been to a few schools. Worked at a few schools.
I'm sure some of the rich private schools in the...
Yeah, I'd imagine the private schools might have a pool, but I've worked at a few of them and they didn't have one. So, I mean, maybe one like St. Kevin's or something like that, I think. Or what's that, MLC?
Yeah, maybe.
Might have a Methodist Ladies College.
Yeah. I think PLC has one.
What's that one? Protestant Ladies College.
Presbyterian?
Oh, right,
Yeah, that's where Mum went.
Oh, right, yes. Very la-di-da.
As a boarder. That's where she met. Okay, all
right, yeah.
Okay, I can say a few little trivia things.
Don't you usually have a whole thing of what this episode's about and everything? You usually start off with that?
Oh, I kind of did that already.
Oh, you usually got a bit more than that, though, haven't you?
Oh, this one doesn't really have anything much deeper to it. It's
all right. Let's start with. All right, I'll start with something. Buffy being picked on by the principal for being too pretty, and then what she was wearing.
Yeah. So Can
we talk about that? You want
to talk about the slut shaming?
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
The victim blaming, which unfortunately still happens now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's actually you burst out laughing because you're like, she's just in like a singlet top. It's like it's not anything.
I know they're always picking on her. I mean, to be fair, other people are getting bashed up and she isn't. So, but it's funny that no one takes a word. Hey, he was like trying to grope me, and she defended herself, and they always go against her.
Yeah, but as you could see already, that the swim team getting.
Yeah, privileges,
and priority
treatment and all
priority
that.
Treatment.
Well, there's even that scene where Xander has it off with has a standoff with the Cameron guy, and he says to him, "Oh, I'm hungry." So all the cafeteria's closed. He's like, "Well, not for me."
Yeah.
So there was a few lines of that, even with that Gage character. He's sitting there playing solitaire while Miss Rosenberg is teaching.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so now we're getting to Miss Rosenberg. So they've just made her a substitute teacher. Now, how does that work where you make a student teacher?
Yeah, I'm just
Are they paying her to be
paying her to be a teacher? Also, isn't being a teacher like a full-time job? Like, wouldn't she have classes all day? It's not like she's just taking one class. She's substituting for all of Miss Callender's.
Yeah, the logistics on having a student just teach the class. Oh, well, she was in the class, so we'll just get her to teach us. I mean, I'm sure there's no shortage of substitute teachers out there. I'm sure they could get someone who could just go in there and sit and read a book and just look after the kids while they find a proper teacher or something. Anything really. No, we'll just have a student teach the class. got to be a conflict of interest in there too. I mean, I know they can trust her, but still, that's
But how's she also getting all of her like schoolwork done? Like, isn't she missing classes?
Is she grading their work?
Yeah, she is. that was the whole point of the issue. Is that
he's being
she
lenient.
failed him,
Oh, no.
and then it was like, oh, you have no school spirit.
You got no school spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big thing. I was just sitting there going, I wonder if are they paying her? Is she there all day? Like, how is she doing her own classes?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Having
and
her
there
teach.
must be like some substitute teacher out there that can do that job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that TV show Kidding, the one with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And there's a character who plays his father, and Jim Carrey's character's son asked the grandfather, what was it like when you were in school, Dad? And he's like, oh, we just got they just lined us up from tallest to shortest and made the tallest kid teach the class.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Detective Buffy.
Detective Buffy?
Detective Buffy.
Oh, yeah. Her snooping on Gage. Now, Gage. I've never heard that name before. Have you?
Not really.
Gage.
Yeah, I thought it was, when I first was looking at it, like, is his name Cage or Gage?
I thought it was Gabe. Gage.
No, Gage.
All right.
There's like Gage and
Gage.
Dodge.
I've heard Dodge before.
No, what was it? It was Dodd. It wasn't even Dodge.
I've heard Dodd. I've heard Dodd before, yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah. Now, don't you remember? Who killed Dodd? It's in Memento.
Oh, okay.
Who the fuck is Dodd? I guess I don't have to worry about him anymore. So...
Yeah, but did you like the mystery throughout this episode? Because we're back to our, creature of the week.
I kind of worked it out. Like I said, there's something in the steam.
Yeah, but they're already implying that there was something in the steam, but it was attracting the creature. I thought they were more. I thought that they held back the twist pretty.
Oh yeah.
Also have to talk about that the whole tone of this episode is a little weird, like because they could have made it so that those creatures weren't attacking people at all. Because when they first show up, they don't hurt anyone. They don't go after anyone.
Yeah.
And
they only really attack Buffy, and when they're in the pit.
Yeah.
And their feeding pit.
Yeah. And it's only when, so it's sort of when they're locked in. I think they must be locked in that cat. Like the coach must have locked them in there.
Yeah.
And that's why they killed the nurse.
Because they were hungry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have other needs.
Yeah, I hate that part. I think they only did that so that they could have the joke about her doing it with the entire swim team.
Right.
It doesn't really work with them because there's that scene in the cafeteria where you just have Xander and the monster, and then apparently the monster just jumps out the window, doesn't attack him.
Well, that's funny. They sort of concealed that because you see the scene where he sees the monster and it just cuts to him saying, I saw a monster. But it seems like, well, what happened after that? I mean, did it attack you? Did it... I mean, it was never... He never said it attacked him, but it was sort of implied what happened. And so, again, it's a little vague on what the monsters actually want, or if they want anything at all. So it's sort of it's making out that they're attacking, but when in retrospect, when you watch it, they didn't attack anything
until they're locked in the.
Well, until Buffy was there,
it's until the nurse, because the nurse gets killed by them.
Oh, does she get killed before that? Does she?
Yeah, because her body's like floating past, and that's what the whole. Oh no, they've already eaten. Yeah.
No, when Buffy attacks, when Gage transforms, she has a fight with them in the locker room.
But it's almost like the other one. Like he wasn't really attacking her though. He sort of it looked like more of a fight or flight sort of reaction. Like
yeah. Well, she definitely bashed them. So yeah. So there was a confrontation. I can't remember who started it, to be honest.
Yeah, but as I said, like they didn't really seem like they were out to cause harm or anything. At first, until they're locked. Yeah, so as I said, the creature's motives are just a little.
Well, even a coach's
uneven.
motive. So they're turning into actual fish. So now
Well,
what?
he wasn't meaning. Yeah. Well, he was just experimenting on the team, but he, from his perspective, he could take any kid and pump them full of this stuff and
the magic stuff. Like, what was it?
Some sort of formula.
Yeah.
That
I never explained what it was.
No.
Some Russian. Oh, that was some Russian experiment.
Some
and
Russian experiment.
He cracked it or something. He cracked the code. Yeah. Very, very vague on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so a high school swimming team could win their state champions.
Because you got to have school pride.
Yeah. I suppose people have done worse for less.
Yeah, and Buffy really fails at doing undercover again. You know what? There's actually like this, because this episode does introduce a number of new characters. So, and a lot of them end up becoming quite famous.
Well, I was actually surprised.
Because this was Wentworth Miller's first.
This is his first credit. Now, he's English.
Yes.
So he didn't even like start in the Bill or Casualty or anything beforehand.
No,
or
he's
anything
never
like
on
that.
Doctor Who.
No, the Doctor Who was well cancelled then by that stage. No, it's usually the Bill or Casualty that most British actors are on, or EastEnders. Is that still going?
Yeah. Yep. And you know he's currently in Law and Order SVU, but was in Prison Break, and your favourite character, Captain Cold.
Catman. Oh.
From
Now I didn't know this until you told me
Flash.
before, but he actually has come out as gay.
Yes.
Now,
well, they made his character on the Flash. Well, first he was killed off, and then
spoiler
was brought back as a Hey, I said this is a full spoiler podcast.
Yeah, but not for the Legends of the Time Lords. When it was
the Time Lord Legends of the Time Lords. Yeah. So he's killed off, but they bring him back from another dimension, as you do. But he's he's gay and has a boyfriend.
Now, I didn't know that, but I always mocked him when he was in that show because he just camped it up, and it was always don't be afraid to use your nails, boys. Sort of campiness of those Batman's villains from the 60s, and every time he was on screen, he just seemed to be chewing and
yeah, the London snarl.
Constantly doing that. Though his accent did slip a little bit in this, and that's when I suddenly realized, oh my God, is he actually English?
But it was also the fact, I actually kind of think that the character of Gage is gay.
Yeah, I think that was a little sort of implied then, wasn't it, when Buffy was hitting on him and following him around, and he's and
he was getting really pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But also him and Dodd just going for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice walk
where
on the
were
beach.
Where were they walking to?
I don't know. We didn't come with him, so hang on. Oops.
Yeah.
And so, and you're saying that he doesn't want to play straight characters anymore.
Yeah. He's fully like I think Prison Break. They keep bringing it back.
Oh, so you just want to do Prison Break anymore? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
is that a way to get out of that show?
They keep bringing it back. Like it gets
It's
cancelled. It gets cancelled.
I never watched it, but
Neither did I.
Yeah. Does that mean he's going to stop playing American characters?
But no, he said that he's retiring the Prison Break character because he doesn't want to play straight characters anymore.
Right.
So, and actually, it was actually, I went down a little rabbit hole.
Oh, you went down a rabbit hole?
I did go down a little rabbit hole.
Okay.
Because I didn't.
That's good because
as I said, I didn't know, but it wasn't until that scene with Buffy, and there's just literally like no chemistry between them whatsoever. Like not even the tiniest little inkling of a spark.
And even he asked her to walk him home.
No, but she's like, oh, my sex appeal is on the fritz tonight. And that's when it kind of clicked. I was like, oh, maybe he's supposed to be gay. And then I'm like, hang on, I'm just curious. And because Captain Cold was such a campy character, I wonder if he's actually gay. And so I actually looked it up. So in 2008, he denied in an article that he was actually gay. But then in 2013, he released an open letter to the organisers of a Russian film festival to which he had been invited, declining because of the anti-gay laws that had been recently passed in Russia and the rise of homophobic violence.
All right. Okay.
Which I thought was a pretty good way. Like, if you're going to come out, if you're going to come out for a good cause. Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be as big a deal anymore. Like, it was such a big secret on whether someone was gay or not. You know, someone like Liberace, like, held on to that for years and sued.
Oh, people still. I have heard people still don't believe that Liberace was gay.
Well, he sued a reporter for reporting that he was gay and won.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people, I don't know. They have a persona. They have the image. They prefer to be seen a certain way. Sometimes you can't help it. Yeah, just sort of think in this day and age, it's not as big deal. But speaking on the homoeroticism in this episode, homoeroticism,
yes,
homoeroticism. Was that shower scene or the sauna scene with Xander?
Oh, a little bit. I thought you were going to talk about the when Xander walks in to the pool in the Speedo, and they do this, like, it's normally a thing that a camera, like, called, have you heard of the male gaze?
Yeah.
And it's just this way that the camera will pan.
It pans down from the legs up, yeah.
Yeah, it pans from, the feet up.
Yeah.
And they do like a male gaze camera shot on Xander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so not really, because it was from Cordelia's point of view, so we knew it was her. But maybe that was more the role reversal they were doing in the episode.
Well, what I'm talking about is the actual camera shot was a male gazy camera shot.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you were going to say.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at this point, Nicholas Brendan had been told to lay off the weights because he was starting to buff up a little too much. And he was starting to get a lot bigger than David Boreanaz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to, they were like, lay off the weights, dude.
Oh, God. Imagine that, huh? I don't have to worry about that.
But we also have like other famous people who were in this episode. We have Concerta Farrell, who played Berta on 2.5 Men.
Oh, Lunch Lady Doris.
You kept calling Lunch Lady Doris. And she sadly passed recently, didn't she?
Yeah, only 2020, October 2020. Yeah, very recently. Yes.
And we also have Shane West.
Yeah, who's that?
Who played Sean.
Yeah, who is that?
He's the guy who's like, that Xander gets the information about the steroids out.
Who's Shane West?
Oh, sorry. He was a bit of an it boy in the early 2000s. So probably his big film. So he was in A Walk to Remember and A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, right. Yes.
And most recently he was in the TV series Nikita, which I know you never watched.
No.
But yeah. And Jeremy Garrett, who I just remember from Sweet Valley High, but he hasn't really done much recently.
Sweet Valley High?
Yeah.
I keep thinking of Summer Heights High.
Oh.
And Charlie Cyphus is a guy who played Coach Marin, who was the coach from Major League.
Yeah, so he was a bit of he's a character actor,
yeah,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he's
really
although he hasn't done much in the past 20 years, only got maybe, half a dozen or so credits. But he'd worked a long time in television, everything from The Bionic Woman to $6 Million Man. I was just watching a bit of the intro of that before. God, that show looks awful. I swear, there's a scene where he has to run really fast. So they slow the whole thing down. So he's running in slow-mo the whole time. So I kid you not, there's like 30 seconds of that Majors guy running down a hill in slow-mo.
Yeah.
With that, that music going in the background and a to make you know he's using his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might just hit you with some trivia about this episode.
Yeah, go on.
So this is the first episode written by David Fury. And
his wife.
Yes.
I do my research.
Yes. So does the name David Fury sound familiar at all to you?
Fury, that's the planet Riddick was from.
No. Bloody hell, Jared. Yeah, so he ends up going to Lost to write for Lost and many other sci-fi shows. He does spend quite a bit of time on, like, I'm pretty sure he writes for Buffy for the rest of the 7 seasons and for Angel as well, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the last time we get the prologue.
Oh.
So no more in every generation. Yeah. Okay. Should we move on? Oh, I was just going to say, the title comes from the card game Go Fish. And
fish!
And they have to fish for information out of people. There's also this Willow Jonathan scene that if you read into it, there's like stuff that happens in later seasons where
Yeah. All right. But let's get the questions out the way.
All right. Question time.
Answer the question.
All right. Which character was your favorite?
I actually did like Gage.
Yeah, I kind of like Gage too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like Wentworth Miller is quite a charismatic.
Yeah. He's got a
certain
way he sort of holds himself, He basically plays the same person every movie, the same haircut, the same look. He hasn't aged a day too. Might I add?
Yes.
He looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Yep.
What is his secret?
Which character do you love to hate?
I was going to say Coach Carl.
Okay. I'm going to go with Cameron.
Yeah, I
for
know
the look what she's wearing.
I'm not going to hurt you. Was that what he said to her in the car? I'm not going to hurt you.
No. It's like, oh yeah.
Is that what he says in the car? I'm not going to hurt you.
And she says, it's not you I'm worried about. And he's like, oh, you like it rough.
Yeah, I like it rough. Slapper.
And he's like, look at the way she's dressed.
Tell me about it.
She was asking for it.
Asking for it. Had to sign up.
All right. Next question. What was the most memorable fight scene?
Well, I guess they weren't fighting, but trying to run away. The two monsters, when Buffy's fighting the monsters or not fighting the monsters.
Yep.
In the locker room.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Buffy's roundhouse kick to Angel's face.
That was pretty good, yeah. And then he just throws Gage at him.
That's going to be my LOL.
I was going to... All right, go on. LOL moment.
All right. LOL moment.
Actually, mine was Buffy getting in trouble.
Oh, okay.
I did find that hilarious.
Yeah.
I know it's completely wrong. That's why I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it's completely wrong. And, yeah.
Yeah. So I have when Angel picks up Gage and throws him at Buffy to get away while spitting out his blood. It's pretty funny. But also I had the conversation of when they're trying to work out what sort of monster it is. And you've got Willow saying, so we're looking for a beastie. And Giles is like, that eats eats humans whole except for the skin. And Buffy's like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the skin's
the best part.
Yes, and Xander says, yeah, the skin's the best part. And Buffy's like, any demons with high cholesterol? And Giles just gives her this weird look. Like, that's so, like, the that's really inappropriate, Buffy. And then she's like, you're going to think about that later, mister, and you're going to laugh.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, what was your...
Yeah, mine was Buffy getting in trouble. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Who gets the wooden spoon?
I gave it to Lunch Lady Doris.
I gave it to the coach. He was more concerned about winning than turning kids into fish monsters.
Yeah, well, he won.
Yeah, but but the longevity.
Yeah, that's all about the short-term game, baby.
All right. Favorite scene?
My favorite scene was Gage being followed by Buffy, and he's doing the I know you're looking at me. Look to her. Would you stop looking at me? I know you're looking at me. Stop looking at me. Look.
Yeah.
Constantly. Another thing I forgot to mention, the 60-cent soft drinks.
Oh, 60-cent soft drinks.
Yes. Remember those? Remember that? I can
No.
remember. Yeah, I remember paying 60 cents for soft drinks. I can remember like putting 3 20-cent coins in to get some like creamy soda, Tarex creamy soda in a can. Lovely. Yeah. Don't remember those?
Remember $1.
Okay.
$1 for a can.
All right. What's your favorite scene?
What's my favorite scene?
Yeah.
Probably Xander in the Speedo. It's pretty funny, that scene. It's good. I like it.
Crazy.
What is it? I like it.
Mm.
Least favorite scene.
I thought the Willow interrogation was a bit lame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I do like
Jonathan.
the idea of it was sort of foreshadowing what happens. I know what happens with that character and what's going to happen later on down the track, but her interrogating, meh.
Yeah. My least favorite scene was probably when Buffy gets thrown into the pit and he's like, "Oh, that's all my reputation needs is that I did it with the entire swim team." Yeah.
That's almost going to be my quote, that one, actually.
Yeah.
I thought, nah, that's a bit lame.
All right, favorite quote. Funny enough.
I think Xander saying, "Oh, that's wrong. A big fat spanking wrong. It's a slap in the face to every one of us who have studied hard and worked long hours to earn our Ds."
Yeah.
And another quote when Xander intones, "In other words, this was not a boating accident," which is sort of a play on the infamous
From Jaws.
"This is no boat accident," but it's actually one of those misquoted quotes.
Yeah.
Where everyone says, "Well, this is not a boating accident," it's actually, when people say this was not a boating accident.
This was no boating accident.
When I said, "Well, this is not a boating accident," that's the original one.
Okay.
So, well, this is not a boating. Sorry. Well, this is not a boat accident. Okay, that's the original quote. So this, yeah.
All right. My favorite. I've got 2 quotes here.
Yeah.
Both are Xander's. It's one's I think we can safely say we found Sean. He was skinless dipping. Actually, I think Cordelia said it. And the other one is Buffy to Xander, and she's like, "Where's Gage?" And Xander's like, "Oh, I don't know. He was right behind me, putting on his sneakers, but not the Velcro kind. So give him a couple of extra minutes."
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Best Cordelia freakout moment?
I like the scene where she thinks Xander's turned into the monster, and she's there, and she starts.
Do you want me to read
out?
out?
Have you done it too?
Yeah.
Oh God, here we go.
Do you
Go
want
on.
me to read out?
Read it out. Go on.
And so it's like, and I know, and I want you to know that I still care about you, no matter what you look like, and we can still date or not. I mean, I understand if you want to see other fish. I'll do everything I can to make your quality of life better, whether that means little bath toys or whatever. And that's when Xander jumps in going, Cordy, that's not me. Possibly also the inspiration for the Oscar-winning movie, The Shape of Water.
We never get a merman, do we?
No. Who's the MVP of the episode?
I think it has to be Xander. Yeah,
it's Xander.
Yeah. He did. He joined the swimming team quite easily, apparently.
Yeah, and yeah. He also
I'm guessing there was a few openings, so it probably wasn't that hard.
It probably wasn't that hard. He looked like he had a good swimming physique as well.
Yeah. Like when he's standing there with the goggles on, like it actually kind of looks like a swimmer, and he's got the tone for it.
Yeah,
like,
he's quite tall. He looked exactly like an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah,
would look like he didn't look out of place.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So he also saves Buffy. He's the one that gets her out
Yeah, he
of the
saves
pit.
Buffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tries to infiltrate the thing.
and fights the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stands up to him. He also stands up to Cameron as well, like when Cameron's been a bit of a douchebag.
Yeah. So good on you for Xander for doing that.
Yeah. What do you rate this episode out of 10?
I give it 3 60-cent cans of soft drink, creamy soda.
I will give this 6 out of 10 sexy Speedos.
Now, creamy soda is awesome. If you can ever find it in whatever country you're in, it's the best soft drink you can have. Lovely.
Yes.
It's non-alcoholic, by the way. If that's
and I'll end this episode with the PSA message of this episode.
Yes.
Steroids
bad.
are bad.
Yeah.
It's cheating
Men fish
in
good.
Sports. Drugs are bad.
Yeah. The trick is to not get caught.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad, McKee. I've run out of things, Eddie. So shall we?
Performing enhancing drugs are bad.
Yes, performance enhancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Performance enhancing. So that's like smoking weed before a concert, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're for. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Ready to go? Well, I hope you've enjoyed us tonight. We are Nerd Subculture. My name is Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And you can find us on... Where can you find us, Eddie?
You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There is a Facebook group. And you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com.
Yeah, so always be sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye. Grr.